Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching This Show. I'm watching Big Mouth, Season 5. We're going to do something a little different for us, and that is attempt to do episodic coverage of both an animated show and a half-hour comedy.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly that's going to be like, so you'll find out. If you're seeing this, we deemed it worthy enough to do and release. So, we're talking about Big Mouth. And as such, this is definitely not for kids or parents for that matter, because we're also probably going to talk about sex in general.
Yeah.
But I started watching this show last Christmas on a whim. So I find animated nudity very funny.
Yeah, because we also have been watching Q-Force on Netflix as well. And it is also littered with penises, and it's very funny.
I don't know what it is, because all animation is choosing how something's going to look.
Yeah.
But there's something about genitalia, like sex and genitalia, that I'm just sort of like, somebody decided to do this.
Well, like Jesse's vagina in seasons past specifically is a really good time.
And it's a slightly controversial show because it is dealing with young people coming of age, puberty, all of that. It is very vulgar or mature.
Yeah.
It's the kind of show that it's like, so we're 35 or 36 watching this. Is it for us?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
I guess Nathan Fillion is a bit of a...
Well, also Nick Kroll and John Mulaney are only a handful of years, our age or a handful of years older than us. So it's very generational.
Because I'm so curious if people this age watch this.
The age of the kids in the show? I mean, probably some of them because it's available on Netflix, but I mean, it's not for them.
The morals are.
But I'm not sure. I feel like it would sort of be the same as like when we were young and like I was not allowed to watch The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't say are they allowed to. I said, do they?
Probably.
I mean,
they probably do.
Phones come pre-installed with porn. So, I mean, kids are seeing everything. But it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, for starters, young people are already speaking this way. They're already talking this way and about these things. So they may as well be properly informed. And number two, it is shockingly wholesome.
Yeah.
When you do get down to it.
It's like the language that's the most like the words they choose are what makes me clutch my pearls. It's not the fact that it's happening. It's like the way they choose to convey it.
We had Kumail Nanjiani made out of cum, so there are visuals as well.
Sure. I hate the one hormone monster, Rick. I don't like
hate
Rick.
him. We mercifully only had one glimpse of Coach Steve.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that and so because I was trying to kind of pitch it to you and you were like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was particularly the female sexuality.
Yes.
That you can tell there are women in this writer's room.
And that's the stuff that I like the best too. And because that is how you eventually sold it on me, is it's in the episode where it's the first episode, right? Where Jessie gets her period for the first time. And the way Connie, first of all, just materializes out of nowhere. Connie, the hormone monstress, materializes out of nowhere. And then it's just such a real description of what it feels like, where she's like, go and make your mother cry and then laugh at her tears. And it's like, because she's like, she's not your mother anymore. She's the competition or something like that. It's very funny. And she starts calling her mother by her first name. I forget what her first name is, but it's just very funny. Where she's like, get out of my room, Shannon, or whatever it is.
It's like you want to throw yourself on your bed, listen to Lana Del Rey until like you can't make sound, like cry so hard you stop making sounds. It's all of that stuff is so real. But it's like the stuff for me that it goes sort of outside the realm of reality is when, like, in this episode, Andrew just comes in his friend's living room in front of his two best friends and his best friend's entire family. I have never heard of such a thing. Okay, so the family walked in on it.
In the living room!
So this was episode 1. This was No Nut November. Yeah. It was sort of a parody because we have a running gag with the series that they'll do Seinfeld like cutaways.
Well, this was also a Goodfellas. The main conceit was like a Goodfellas.
They split the difference.
But so they decided to do like the contest from Seinfeld where they all decide to like to just not masturbate for the month of November.
So immediately I had issue because we had Andrew and Maury and he taught Andrew about edging. Yeah. And I was like, okay, fine. It was called No Nut November, but the actual
the deal that they made, the contest,
not to masturbate. And I hate to break it to you, but that's masturbating. Edging is masturbating. And so I was already kind of like,
yeah.
I don't remember exactly what happened because we did sort of watch it in one fell swoop. And I know that Jay and Lola are currently broken up. So Lola is one of my favorite characters. We did very distressingly so find out that her screen name is Stumpy for Trumpy.
Yeah, I know. Scumpy for Trumpy.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't love that.
So the main it's a 1-2 punch. Is it Nick Kroll?
It's Nick Kroll. Yeah.
So it's Nick Kroll's delivery. The way he voices.
Yeah, the way he voices her is very funny.
And the fact that her name is Lola Ugfuglio Scumpy.
Yeah.
So funny. And also an underwritten or underutilized trope cliche, which is the grotesque popular girl.
Yeah.
Because she's one of the cool girls, but
she's ugly and mean and a bully and popular. So it's like it is underutilized.
It is a very specific, very real factor of high school, middle school, and high school in particular. But they're currently on the outs. I don't remember why.
He said I love you and she wouldn't.
Right.
And that's what I remember.
I truly hate the pillows.
It's so weird.
Because didn't Rachel try?
Yeah, the pillows are where the show lost Rachel, and that's like so early.
That's so like in episode 2.
Stays happening. Especially because the pillow at the beginning is Kristen Bell, and he gets her pregnant. But then it turns out it was like another couch cushion did it, and they like ran away together.
And as you clarified that the other one is not a pillow, it's a couch cushion.
He's a couch. The boy pillow is a couch cushion, and the girl pillow is
like from the Jersey Shore too.
Yeah.
And so Jay is a bisexual king.
Yeah.
we stan. But Jay's rough. Jay's real rough.
Jay's pretty rough, but I do love Jason Mantzoukas and what he brings to that voice role. I like that a lot. Oddly
appealing, Jason Mantzoukas. So we do have Jay and Lola and Pilola.
Boy.
You were fine with it until you realized she cut the slit and
she like painted it a color as well. I can't. It's too
That's
much.
my point. The whole animated nudity. Yeah. I was like, that was a choice.
It was a choice. Somebody
made a choice to do that.
Yeah.
We have Missy, Devon, and Nathan Fillion. I had kind of forgotten about Missy and Devon. Mm-hmm. Basically, they had some... Missy was originally voiced by Jenny Slate. Mm-hmm. And then...
Her name is Ayo Edebiri.
And she was a writer on the show.
Oh, she was? Okay. Mm-hmm. I do love that Jenny Slate, essentially, especially when they started doing like race-based stories for Missy, Jenny Slate was like, I think I should not be the one doing this
because Missy is part Jewish. She's mixed. She's half Jewish. And half black. And I remember Devon was sort of like introducing Misty sort of into, because there was the code switching. That's what they called it, right? Mm-hmm. And so it like pinged something in her subconscious where she's now very intrigued by him. More so than she is Mona, her hormone monster.
Oh, yeah.
Tandy Newton.
Tandway. Yeah.
Is very intrigued by him. I love that because she's also like, Mona is pushing Missy in the direction of Devon because he's a real boy.
Yeah.
And Nathan Fillion is not. Well,
as appealing as he might be in his Firefly getup.
They made a point that Devon was age appropriate. And is he? Because there's been a running joke that he's an old man. So I'm so curious to find out if we're going to get any more of that. Remember?
I mean, yes, I do now that you say it. But I mean, they're in the same grade. So is he like a vampire or something? I don't know.
Well, no, because the two Swedish twins are something.
They are monsters.
They are monsters. There was also hilarious and apparently very accurate depiction of the movie Doubt.
Yeah.
Running through
super accurate.
Because I was like, I feel like this isn't the scene. And you were like, well, not these words, but it is very much the scene.
The words aren't right, but there is a moment where in this episode, there is a moment where like the Meryl Streep cartoon is talking to the Philip Seymour Hoffman one and said, I will prove you're molesting children if it kills me. And I was like, I mean, she doesn't say those
Or the
words.
Viola Davis.
Yeah, I don't care if my son's getting molested. This is a good school. Almost verbatim. I'm like, the movie Doubt is excellent. Like the second movie I think that Amy Adams should have won an Oscar for.
The first being Enchanted.
No, the first one is called Junebug.
I know what I said, and I know the title of Junebug.
Junebug came out before Enchanted.
Yeah.
It's good.
I was making a joke.
I'm not allowing it.
And so we do then have probably my favorite and also probably your favorite. Nick is still in love with Jesse.
Yep.
And still stuck with Rick. That's
poor Nick. Rick is like you know what Rick is? Rick is to this show as Chris Elliott is to Schitt's Creek.
Yeah. Well, I think that's meaner.
No.
Who is it meaner to?
Because I like that's the thing is like I think that Schitt's Creek would be potentially my favorite show of all time if it didn't have Roland. I cannot get behind because he never gets better. Okay. He doesn't change, and he should.
But then we have Jesse and Judd, which how do you feel about Judd?
So I don't have a ton of feelings about Judd because he was very.
What if you were 14 and knew him?
No, of course. Then I would have intense feelings about Judd. But I can't really, aside from just the generality of the situation with Jesse, I can't speak to Judd specifically because he hasn't had enough screen time in my opinion. Like, not even as much screen time as Nick's sister. Mm-hmm. So
it's about the same, but I think Leah, because of the Kat Dennings of it all, I think she resonated a bit more with us.
Well, she also had that entire episode where she was choosing the birth control.
And the birth control, yeah.
So I don't have a ton of opinions about Judd yet, although I felt in my soul first of all, I love when Connie the hormone monstress gets excited too. When she's like just as childish as
That's
Jesse.
Something I find fascinating because the hormone monsters are meant to be guides that I understand and old as time, but they're also somehow going through this with the kids in real time.
It's very fascinating. So I think my favorite part was Judd drops his sweaty t-shirt and Jesse steals it and they leave and Connie is like proud and excited and so crazy about it. And then they get home and they just have it like laid out on the bed.
And like what do we do
like
with
a trophy,
it?
What do we do? And Jesse, just sincere as the day is long, just goes, how does this sound? If I just like press my whole face into it and then the rest of my body is just rigid as a board. And I was like, oh man.
And so she just like lays down on it like a dead body.
Because even Connie is like, ooh, like a sexy corpse. I felt it in my soul. It's just like so true to having a crush on an older boy.
I have these feelings that I don't know what to do with them.
So it's just like I physically can't move. It is very funny. Jesse's my favorite for sure.
Easily. Yeah, they didn't make it very far into No Nut November, I think
Jay apparently like made it. He at least made it the farthest.
Well, I don't think November is meant to be over.
No, but yeah.
And then it ended a montage of everybody coming. So.
Yeah. Except for Jay, who was crying because he misses Lola.
It's coming through his eyes.
Sure.
Lola tried to seduce him. It didn't
go. And then there was a big fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
So that was the premiere of season 5 of Big Mouth. I don't know. Let us know. Is there an audience for this? We could be doing this just
we'll see.
The winds of an angry desert.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, okay, let's stay tuned.